How you doing? My name is Michael Bricker. I'm the Division Chief here at Animal Care and Protective Services for the City of Jacksonville. We had an amazing Saturday this past Saturday. Councilman Raul Arias hosted a town hall, and we were able to talk about a bunch of different things at the animal shelter. Our agenda for that day was welcome and opening remarks by Councilman Raul Arias. We had updates right after that. Shelter data and operational review. I love the data portion. And then looking ahead. We talked about facilities, goals, and partnerships. For those of you that didn't get a chance to be there, we wanted to just film this quick video. I'm going to go through some of the high points, and then we will either post a link or maybe post the pictures of the slides that the public saw on Saturday. Accomplishments and initiatives. We expanded our hours in a big way. One of the things that I heard before I got here, I read our reviews. People said that they couldn't get in touch with us. They couldn't bring animals into us. Our adoption hours weren't the best, so we expanded all of those. We're open 7 days a week from 12 to 7. That is, I'm super proud about that. Not many shelters are open 7 days a week. Usually there's at least 1 or 2 days that shelters are closed for like deep cleaning and things. And although we'd love to do that, we want to be here for the community. So not only do we have our intake hours changed, but our adoption hours changed too. Intake hours are the ones that we expanded the most over the past 3 years, but yeah, we made it way easier to come in to adopt. And if you have to bring an animal, or if you found a stray, or if you have questions about those, our pet resource center is open almost every day of the week now. So facility and customer experience, another one of those things that I read on Google before I got here. We weren't giving the best customer service. And that's not a knock on anybody that was here before. It's really hard to do when there's so many people that are coming asking questions and have thoughts and want to adopt and volunteer and all these things. It's really hard to do when you have a limited amount of staff. Over the past 3 years, we were able to grow the number of staff members, which has really helped with this. And then we changed all of our processes and protocols to be customer service focused. Another thing was the long wait times. We added a program called QLess. It's the same program that you'd see at the DMV or the tax collector, so people know where they're at in line. They know a roundabout of how long it's going to be till we get to them, and that's made it so much better and easier. We also changed things due to the additional staff. Everything used to happen from just the lobby. So that would be adoptions, volunteers, dog day outs. If you want to bring a dog or a cat to us, everything happened. If you were owner surrendering a dog, if you found a stray, all that happened right at the front desk at the lobby for most days. But since we expanded our hours of our pet resource center, now we've split that up. So our front desk adoption team is really just focused on those. Adoptions, if rescue organizations come in, they want to take animals, they do dog day outs through there. We call that Dogs Around Duval, which is an amazing program. We do that out of the front desk. And then we have a separate entrance, which is our pet resource center, if you have to surrender a cat or a dog, or if you found a stray cat or dog. We can have those conversations over there. So we've separated that. We've added more staff to both teams so we can more appropriately handle those questions and make a better customer service experience. Events and outreach. We added a dedicated event and outreach coordinator due to the new positions. So we do double the amount of events that we ever have. That was another thing that I noticed when I first got here to Jacksonville. Everybody was telling me how big Jacksonville was, but you don't realize it till you're here. It's just so big and it's so spread out. So in most cities that I've worked in, they were more concentrated, so you can bebop through and hit 5 events all in a small area. It's not the same in Jacksonville. We'll have an event here downtown, and then there'll be an event 45 minutes over by the beaches, and then another one 45 minutes from that over in like the Oakleaf area. So it made it way harder. But now with the addition of staff and more volunteers, we hit more events than we ever have, which has definitely helped out with our adoptions as well. Since adding that role, we've actually doubled the amount of adoption events we attend and host, which is awesome. This year was our first year ever doing a mega adoption style event right here at the shelter. We actually did 2 of them. which were amazing. Between both events, we adopted out nearly 300 animals, which was great. Another position we added is the Humane Education Coordinator. One of the things that everybody talks about when you're talking about good ownership or good pet parenting for cats and dogs is it starts when you're young. So we added this Humane Education Coordinator role to number one, handle our PAWS classes. If you don't know what PAWS is, it's our Professional Animal Workers group that deals with, we've partnered with the ARC of Jacksonville and FSCJ to create this program. It's a 10-week course where adults with IDD will come and they'll learn how to be an animal welfare worker, whether that is a groomer or a trainer or a kennel staff or work in our medical team. So we started with PAWS 1. Now we have PAWS 2, which is a more in-depth. They actually spend way more time with our officers, way more time with the medical team, way more time with the kennel staff. We've added that class too, which is amazing. And with all of that, that's what our Humane Educator was focusing on. But we're expanding that. We're doing a reading program for children. So children will actually be able to come here on days of the week and read to our cats and dogs. It's great for the children, but also great for our animals for socialization. And the third thing is going to be summer camps. This year will be our first summer camp for kids. We can't wait for it. They're just going to be day camps this summer. Next year we'll expand that, but that's all what the Humane Education Coordinator is going to be doing. We talked about staff investments. We added staff members to all the right places as far as I'm concerned. When I first got here, kennel cleaning was an issue. We didn't have enough staff to appropriately clean the amount of kennels that we had. Now we do. We could always use more for sure. But we have kennel staff we added. We added more people to in our vet or our medical team, more vet techs to handle some of these medical cases. We've added more people to the Pet Resource Center, to the front desk. All of those places are severely needed in order to make sure that the animals that are here are cared for appropriately. And also to our enrichment team. We added new employees to our enrichment team too. They're the ones that do our play groups. They get the dogs out of the kennels and in the play groups. So amazing. We're super happy about those investments that were made. Oh, and I forgot to add, we added more animal services officers. Having a dispatcher is a brand new position for us. We added an assistant supervisor. We added core animal services officers. We also added specialty investigators. So for those big cases like the cruelty cases, breeding calls, pet shops, all of those things, we now have dedicated staff that are focused on those groups of calls because those calls take a long time. Most of our calls, maybe an officer, if they have a full box, can get 10 calls a day. If you throw in one cruelty case or one pet shop or one breeder, that could be half a day or sometimes a whole day. So now we have our specialty investigators that are geared to just focus on those. Shelter data and operational review, one of my favorites. So I've been here almost 3 years now. September will be 3 years. So what we did was we matched up the data from November to the end of May. So, and then we did that for 3 years, 23 to 24, 24 to 25, and 25 to 26. So we're going to put this data up there. I won't go through everything, but I can just tell you that our dog and cat intakes are way up. We are answering more calls. We're accepting more cats and dogs, and we're able to do that because our adoptions for both of those categories are way up as well. Our dogs in foster, our cats in foster are way up from over the past 2 years. Our shelter euthanasia for cats and dogs are down, which leads us to our save rate. So save rate's one of those things that we don't talk about it a lot. You know, I understand why there's a focus on save rate. I do think that a 90% save rate as a benchmark is a good benchmark for most shelters. So when you hear the terms kill shelter or no kill shelter, it's all centered around that number, 90%. I don't think, and I don't agree that 90% is the right number for every shelter in the United States. I think that there's definitely different factors that would cause a shelter to be a little under that or a little over that. And the fact is, we've been hovering right around 90 for a long time now. But this year, from November until May, when we did our data, we are at 90%. And that's the first time since 2020 that we've achieved those numbers. it's amazing. It's really really good. But the next 4 months are going to be really difficult. They're the highest intake months that we will have are the last 4 months of this period. But I think we can do it. I think we can stay right at 90 or a little above or a little below. But that's going to take more help from the public. We are going to continuously get more cats and dogs during this time. We are going to get cats and dogs that are severely injured or maybe dangerous. There are going to be cats and dogs that unfortunately will have to be euthanized. We have to really focus on those ones that are great pet candidates, and we have tons of them at the shelter. At any given time, we'll have about 300 dogs that are ready and looking for a home, 200 cats, and that's just in the shelter. I mentioned that foster numbers went up in a big way too. So we have almost an equal number out in foster as well. So if you're looking to adopt, if you want to help out, if you want to volunteer, foster, donate, whatever, this is the time. Help. We are the city shelter for the city of Jacksonville, and we can definitely use that help, especially if us getting and holding that 90% is important to you. So we're there right now. We're at 90%, but again, it's going to be a lot of work, and we're not afraid of the work. So again, with the higher intake, just to put a number to that, we're answering more field calls and taking more animals than any time in the last few years. When I mentioned that the last time we hit that 90% was in 2020, 2020 was also one of the years that this shelter took in the least amount of animals. So now we're at 90%, taking in 47% more of dogs since that time, and 44% more cats since that time. So that's an amazing number. So we are saving more, but also taking in more. So it's just great. We're excited about that. So I think we went over all of these other things: save rate, intake trends, foster network growth, all of that. But I want to leave you with the bottom line. So from 25 to 26, so that's November of this year, or of last year, 2025, to May of 2026, we've done 3,031 adoptions. If we match that up against 23 to 24, in that time we only did 1,600 adoptions. So we almost doubled the amount of adoptions. Animals in foster, 23 to 24, we had 400 animals in foster. 25 to 26, we have 800 animals in foster. Again, doubling that number. The shelter has seen an amazing amount of growth over the last 3 years. And shelter euthanasia, 23 to 24, again, we were taking less animals, and we euthanized 433 of those animals. This year, 25 to 26, we're taking in 44% more, and we've euthanized 363 animals. So that number has decreased. So the save rate is there to show. So we're saving 90% of the animals so far this year, and again, we want to keep going. So talking about keep going, we want to look ahead. So what we want to do for the next few years is continuing what works. We want to continue to grow our adoptions, continue to do more adoption events, continue to add more staff, continue to save more lives. But what we need to do that is definitely help from the public. As Jacksonville grows, that's going to mean our intake is going to continuously grow. We want to do more programs to help cut down on intake. Our next one, we're doing another Bo's Hope event. And for those of you that don't know, those are community vaccine clinics. We do feel like that's a big help in having people keep their animals, as if they're vaccinated, microchipped, all of those things. We're going to be doing one of those next month. We will continue to provide money to every pet in order to help out with free or low-cost spays and neuters. They're amazing. So we want to do more of those things. But looking ahead, our kennels are old. Our kennels are about 20 years old. We want to do some revisions to those. So we're working on that right now. Working on figuring how we get our kennels to be a little bit better, refreshing those. We definitely need additional laundry capacity. With the amount of animals that we have here, you can think about how many blankets that is, how many sheets need to be washed, how many towels need to be washed. If you just think about your own laundry and how much your dogs and cats will provide you to be cleaned, think about ours. 500 animals at any given time. When the shelter was built, They built it with the best of intentions, but our laundry room is very small, can only fit 2 commercial washers, 2 commercial dryers. When I first got here, the issue was that we didn't have the staff to be back there to continue with the wash. Now we do have staff, and we have volunteers that are helping in a big way with our laundry, but we're running them all day, which is leading to some of the washers breaking. But as soon as they break, we do have a contract. They come, they fix them, but any delay just causes a backup in laundry. So we want to get another building dedicated to laundry. So that's something that we want to look forward to. And our medical equipment. Our medical team does so much. I mean, constantly, every single day, there's cats and dogs that need their help, and they're using equipment that is very old. They're still doing great work with it, but we want to improve that. We want to refresh the medical equipment back there. They need new lights. They're going to need a new X-ray machine, things like that. So those are things that we want to change. Another thing that we want to add is a satellite adoption site, maybe 1 or 2. A lot of people think that we need more kennels here, or we need to make this building bigger. I don't agree. We just need more access, or for more of the public to have access to our adoptable animals. We're in one part of Jacksonville, and like I said, how it's giant, so big. So we would love to have satellite adoption agencies, maybe at the beaches or over in the Oakleaf area, places where there's not a lot of adoption spots around them, so they can come and see one of our adoptable cats and dogs and hopefully take it home. So that's one thing we want to do, hopefully this year. And then ordinance updates. We tried to update our ordinances a couple months ago, the stray hold. That's just one of the many ordinances that we want to update. When the ordinances were written, I'm sure they were great. But right now, animal welfare has changed in a big way, so we want to make those updates. So look forward to those too. So I think that's it. I just want to leave you guys just knowing that we are open again 7 days a week, 12 to 7. If you have any questions, please come down. If you've never been here before, please come. Another thing that we offered during this town hall, which was great, was a behind-the-scenes tour. If you want a tour, you don't have to wait for the next town hall. Just come in. Come talk to us. We'll walk you around. I'm so proud of this place, this building, our team. I would love to talk to you about it. I'd love to show you the behind the scenes, all the work that's getting done. I think that was a very good piece of this town hall. I think people that did have questions, they were able to get those answered. And they were able to see firsthand what we do on a daily basis. So thank you so much. If you couldn't make it to the town hall, I get it. If you have any other questions after this, please put them in the comments and I'll answer as many as I can. You can always give us a call through 630 City or just come here. I would love to have you visit. It's so easy to be a volunteer, to foster. If you want to just take a dog out for the day for our Dogs Around Duval program, it's amazing. If you work for a company that gives you volunteer hours, we have an amazing program called Strollmates where 3 to 4 days a week we have a large group from a bank come and they just walk like 60 or 70 of our dogs. You can be a part of that too. If you want to just come cuddle kittens or read to a dog or a cat, you can do that here. So please, any questions or comments, put them in the bottom. And then if you want to, just stop in. But thank you so much.